All right, welcome in. Happy
All
Wednesday.
right.
This is the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cobold.
Uh,
Along with me, as always, is Max Faulkner.
yeah.
Max, what's going on, man? Mid-February,
Well,
what's up?
I was just gonna say, like, look at this slime ball that I'm looking to the left of me right here. Look at this slime
Me,
ball. Yeah,
me.
yeah.
What's that about?
Man, I'm making you a little nervous about it though, aren't you? You're thinking about it now. You're like, is there something on my face? Is my hair greasy? Why does it call me a
Just washed it
scumbag?
last
Why
night.
is it? Why am I a slime ball?
Washed it last night.
Not today.
I haven't showered yet today.
Well, yeah. Neither did I. Neither did I.
Okay. Well,
uh, well,
what's what's up?
Not much, man. Not much. Just another Wednesday over here. Gotta be happy about that. How was your Super Bowl?
Super Bowl was good. Great game. Great game.
Yeah,
I think it lived up to the hype. We were pretty disappointed with a lot of primetime matchups this season, but the Super Bowl was great. Chiefs came back from 10 down at halftime. Patty Mahomes, MVP.
he's the man. He's the man. No better way to settle that season. His MVP season, 13 and 13 and 4. Was he 14 and 3?
14 and 3,
14 and
I
3.
believe.
Yeah.
I believe.
14 and 3 swept the playoffs and gets his second crown with Andy Reid and Travis Kelsey. Good for them.
Good for them.
Good for
Happy
them.
for him. Happy for him.
What uh what were you doing during the Super Bowl? Did you have any
Oh, went
guests?
down to Wilson's place and got some buffalo chicken dip going. I made that
Oh,
juicy pulled pork that makes you
ooh,
drool. I made
that's
that.
right. Remember that.
Actually had it for lunch today. Still got leftovers. 6.5 pounds. Six
That's
and
a
a half
lot.
pound shoulder. Okay,
That's a lot of
that's a
pork.
big shoulder.
That's a
That's a
lot of
big
pork in
shoulder.
that pig.
So still working on that. What'd you guys do for the Super Bowl?
We had some friends over, also grilled burgers. My wife, for the longest time, did not eat meat, and she just flipped. She just went, you know what? I'm gonna start
Screw it.
eating meat again. And so we've been cooking meat
Wow.
all over the place. I brought up burgers
Wow.
for the Super Bowl, and she was all
Wow.
over it. She actually came up to me and said, "Hey, what if we put the cheese in the middle and then we like cover it with meat?" And I'm like, "A
Had some
juicy Lucy?
ideas. Had some ideas.
Yeah,
Nice.
a juicy Lucy."
A juicy Lucy. Okay.
That's
Okay.
what it's called. It's called a Juicy
Okay.
Lucy. And then literally, what was so funny is one of my buddies, he pokes his head into the kitchen. He was like, "You guys making Juicy Lucy's?"
Oh, so he knew. He knew.
You knew,
Okay.
you knew what's up. So it's
This is
it's
a new
been
term for me. New term for me. Juicy
you're from
Lucy.
dude. It's a Midwest term.
I'm
It,
sleeping,
it
I
came from
guess.
the Midwest.
I'm sleeping. I don't know.
Pretty sure.
I'm sleeping.
Yeah, Juicy Lucy burger, man. Juicy
Nice.
Lucy.
Can
Yeah,
you
you
can
gotta
you
know.
explain what that is one more time? A Juicy Lucy burger?
You got the burger. You got the cheese in the middle. Okay, and then you cover the meat. You cover the cheese by curling the meat. So the cheese is in the middle of that meat patty. And so when you
Oh,
cook it, it melts inside of the meat. And so when you bite into it, the very first bite you get, it's just gooing out with cheese. It's
oh,
delicious.
very gooey. Very gooey.
Yeah, very
Okay.
good.
Well, congratulations to Patty Mahomes. He hit
Hmm.
a MVP
Speaking of
prop
Patty
for me.
Mahomes, Luda, come here. Come here.
Speaking of Patty,
Come here. Yeah.
got a special guest for us today, a big time
Look
fan,
who decided to show up. Patty Mahomes himself.
I'm a big time fan of Patty.
Oh,
Well,
sorry, buddy. She's a little fussy today, but here it is. Patty. Oh my gosh. Hold on, hold on.
go Patty, go Patty.
Luda's got a Patty Mahomes jersey. We were cheering him on. Cheering him on. Look at this cutie. Look at this cutie. She's the best. She's the best.
Everybody loves Patty. He's a
Everybody
fan
loves Patty.
favorite. He's a fan favorite. Hit a
I wish my wife was here because she has a funny voice that Luna does, and it's just hilarious. She would have did a good Patty Mahomes situation here, but big fan, huh, buddy?
big
Big
fan
fan.
and big Super Bowl win. Big Super Bowl win. So congrats to the Chiefs and Andy
Big win.
Reid. Andy Reid, who now, if I remember, you had Mike Tomlin over Andy Reid. Now, has that changed with the Super Bowl win? With
A
another
bit.
one? Okay. So now Andy Reid's number two for you for your coaches.
Yeah. I think so. I think that curbs it. That curbs it a bit.
Yeah.
Andy Reid's got more wins. But yeah, I think that's good to say. I said that those two can flip at any time, and I think that deal does it for sure.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Anything else on the Chiefs and the Super Bowl?
That's it, man. I think it's time that we start jumping into some college basketball because hey,
So
football's done. Football's
football's
done, and
football's
everyone's
over.
wondering what do we watch now? Like, what do we literally? One of my clients said, "What are we going to talk about now? Football's done." I said, "Dude, we can talk college basketball."
We can
And
talk
he's like,
college
"I don't watch
basketball.
college basketball." I was like, "Oh, dude, I was like, I'm gonna start getting detailed and get you into it."
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I believe we're 3.5 weeks away from Selection Sunday, so 3.5 weeks away from brackets. That's crazy.
Wow, wow.
All right, like we've said, it's mid-February, so let's get into this college basketball talk.
Yeah.
Max,
Oh yeah.
February
Football
5th.
season's done, man. Football
Football.
season's done. Time to move on to a new sport. Because everyone's wondering, like, what do we watch now? If you're gonna slip over to a new sport, watch college basketball. Don't go to the NBA.
This is the
I hate to be that
time.
person to say that. It's just it doesn't compare if you're looking for a real basketball game.
This is the
There's
time.
I'm gonna say this one time, one more time, and I'll probably say it a few more because I got to make this clear.
Don't
The
get worked
NBA
up.
and college, the NBA and college, all right, are different sports. College basketball is strategy and working as a team to accomplish a goal, which is win. The NBA is full of millionaires that need to get their own.
It's a show.
They need to get their points because they've earned those points. Or like
It's a
they
show.
earned it because of their paycheck.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not teamwork. It's you notice I understand like the best players in the game get the ball the most. I get it. Okay. But notice the difference between the players in the game in college, the best players in the game in college compared to the best players in the NBA. The NBA is going to shoot way more. And in college, you're going to see the ball be moving a lot more. Okay. So you might see
Oh
Zach
yeah.
Edey score 30 points, but he might have only taken 15 shots. You know, in the
Yeah.
NBA, it's 30. It's
And
30, 33,
yeah,
35.
Edie might have 30 and the Boilers might have 65 as a
A
team. So yeah, yeah,
lot of assists
definitely,
on that board.
definitely.
Uh, yeah.
I'm right there with you. And with that, on February 15th, who was your number one team in college basketball?
All right. So moving to some college basketball rankings. Number one, it's no surprise for me. It is Alabama, 22-3 right
I
now.
think it might be a
Also, they are
surprise to
just
some people. Might be
I
a
know.
surprise with what you're wearing right now. It might be a surprise to some people that you said
I
Alabama.
literally gave this one some thought because we're going to talk about my number two in a second, which you might agree with as well. But yeah, Alabama is 12-0 in the SEC. They're just running away with that thing, man. 12-0 in the SEC.
See
SEC
ya.
is not bad. That is not a bad division. They're not bad.
See ya. Hey, Alabama's 12-0. Yeah, they're up to second in the net. They're the fifth best defensive team in the nation. I also have them number one.
Yeah,
Alabama's scary. They can win it all.
I think so too. I think so too. They got one hell of a team this year, and we'll get. They have a big game tonight. They got a big game tonight against Tennessee. Tennessee's been slipping. They've
This
been slipping this year, but it's going to be a good game tonight. You've got to have that. Better have that game on, Cole Breezy.
we've been talking about this game for a couple weeks now. It's the only matchup of these two teams. There's actually a four game difference in the SEC standings between Bama and Tennessee. So this doesn't really have an effect on the standings, but we've been waiting to see. This is still a top 10 battle. We were thinking it might be a top 5, top 3 battle a couple weeks ago. Still a top 10 matchup. You want to turn it on, definitely.
Yeah.
Who's your number 2 team?
Number two, all right, is still my Purdue Boilermakers.
Okay.
I do have them at number two. Okay,
Yeah.
I disagree at the poll that they put them at number three right now.
Yeah.
The reason they're at number two is because yes, on Sunday they lost to Northwestern at Northwestern, and Northwestern is 18-8. So it's not like it's not like they lost to a Queef team.
Yeah. It's still Northwestern. Still Northwestern.
Northwestern led under a guy named
The Wildcats. The Wildcats.
I agree. I agree. But it was definitely a bad loss. I was definitely upset about it. I will say, out of frustration, that was one of the worst officiated games that I had
Oh,
seen. I'm saying
Blame
it
it on
right
the
here.
zebras. Blame it on the zebras,
I'm
huh?
not I'm not gonna blame it on them because there's definitely plenty of turnovers at the end that Purdue shouldn't have
Sure,
had. So
sure.
Northwestern got it. But I will say that Zach Edey had scratches up and down his
Yeah,
arms.
yeah. He
There
had
were
some
there
marks.
was there was parts of the game where he was literally putting his arm towards the ref when the ball was out of bounds or during free throw, saying, "Look at
Yeah,
my arms.
yeah.
Like, what? Why am I not getting
A
any
lot of
calls?"
slapping. A lot of
A lot
slapping
of
by those
slapping. They're not
cats.
calling anything. And
By
then,
those
and what's so
cats.
stupid is because the telecasters, the broadcasters would be like, it's just so hard to call fouls for Edie. He's too hard to call. You listen for this.
Yeah, yeah.
You hear
Yeah.
this.
You hear it. If you
That's a
hear it,
foul.
yeah,
Call the
yeah.
damn foul.
I can't argue with that. But what I can argue with is Purdue at number 2. I got him number 3. I got him number
Okay.
3. We got 2 court stormings in the last 3 games. Okay, we got a little adversity here for the Boilers. I'm curious how they're going to turn this around, but I got him number 3. Okay, my number 2, Houston Cougars. I don't think I believe they're number 3 for you.
Yeah,
All
they're
right,
number 3 for me.
so we can agree on a top 3 there, but they're the number 1 team at Ken Palm. They're the number 1 team in the net, and they got a big game coming up on Sunday that we're going to talk about. Very well coached team, as we always say. I like Houston.
Yeah. 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 I have them at number 3, so we don't have to go too far with these guys. Houston's good. I mean, they're in the American Conference. It's not that good of a conference this year. They have
Nah,
one
it's
they
never
have
is.
one category, the one game that's coming up that we'll talk about later that I think is the only other team that's actually competing in the American Conference. But 23-2 record. I mean, that's a hell of a record.
That
They're doing
speaks
great.
for itself. That speaks for itself,
Yeah.
definitely. Who is your number 4 team as of February 15th?
Ooh, number 4, we're gonna take it over to California, where I am currently located in Los Angeles. We're going UCLA. All right,
Yeah,
UCLA at number 4. They're 21-4 this season. They do lead the Pac-12.
yeah.
Okay, so I think they are the best team in the Pac-12. I think they're the best coached, and I think they have some senior leaders on that team that makes it an exciting team to watch. Pac-12 is not good this year, but they do have a couple, I will say 2 teams that are good. Other than that, maybe USC slips in an 11 seed,
Yeah,
and
maybe,
like that's
maybe.
about. I don't know.
Yeah,
Other than that, I don't know.
Pac-12 sucks.
Yeah.
And a little bit because the Pac-12 sucks is why I have UCLA number 5. Okay, I got
Okay.
UCLA
Yeah.
down a little bit. Number 2 defense in the nation. Okay, these guys are playing Mick Cronin. Mick Cronin's got them playing D. Okay,
Yeah.
I think they got the Pac-12 pretty much locked up. They got a 2-game lead on Arizona right now, or is that a game and a half? Might be a game and a half. But
Mhm.
I got UCLA number 5.
Cool. What do you got number 4 then?
Number 4. Ain't got to look much further. Right here, boys.
Yeah, I knew the answer, but I figured I'd
The
ask.
defending national champions. Okay, just went on a Oklahoma road trip, smacked the Sooners on Saturday. Got another double-digit win last night at Oklahoma State. Okay, the Cowboys. The
Good game.
Cowboys were fired up. Did you watch that one? You see Grady Dick,
I missed it. I missed that game, sadly.
6'8" sharpshooter, freshman stud. Grady Dick had a
Yeah.
career high 26 points last night. Now,
Nice.
I believe he was 10 of 17 from the field. He started off a little slow, and the crowd, every time he missed a shot, they got real clever. The crowd was chanting, "You suck dick, you suck dick." So I think that got him going, and now he
Yeah.
comes off with a career high 26.
Good.
Look
Good.
out, look out.
Make fun of
Okay,
my family name? He's like, you're making fun
yeah,
of my family name?
yeah.
I'm gonna shit all over your court.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
Cowboys. Take that ass whipping.
Yeah.
But I got the Jayhawks number 4.
We won't go too much further. I got them number 5. Just top 5 team. They're 20-5. So I gave it a little bit of record and
21 and
I don't
5.
even think are they
21 and
number
5.
1 in the Big 12?
We got a 3-way tie at the top.
Okay.
3-way tie, all at
Okay.
9-4. Kansas, Baylor, and Texas.
Yeah.
Kansas is 21-5. Okay, have a little
Oh,
courtesy.
sorry about the win
Have,
last night. My bad.
have
My
a little
bad.
courtesy.
Missed that one. I missed that one. Yeah, Kansas is a fun. They're always a fun team to watch. They're always going to be in
Yeah,
the top 10, the top five. That's how it is. They always got a one seed. They got one of the best. We'll talk about this another time. Is the best coaches in college basketball. Bill Self might be number one. You know, it
yeah,
might be right now. Yeah,
yeah.
I think he takes over for Krzyzewski. I would still debate whether he was better than Krzyzewski. I can
Yeah,
definitely debate
still
that.
a debate. Yeah,
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, Kansas is great. So,
go Jayhawks.
yep.
Who's your number 6 team in the nation?
Don't jump out of your seat, but we're not
Oh,
going too far from the Big 12. Okay. I have the Baylor Bears. Baylor's good.
yep,
Baylor's a good team.
yep.
Okay. If you're sleeping on them early because they started out slow, well, they heated right back up. Right at the perfect time. The Baylor Bears are looking great. They're 19-6. Did I miss a game or are they 20-6?
20-6,
20
20
and
and 6
6.
Baylor
Okay,
Bears.
there you
They,
go.
I believe they won 10 out of their last 11 games. This is after starting 0-3 in the Big 12. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I got the Baylor Bears number 6.
Mm,
They're now the number 1 offensive team in the nation. They're shooting the
wow.
lights out. They're healthy. They and like we said, we got a three-way tie at the top of the Big 12, all at 9-4, Kansas, Baylor, and Texas. I'm right there with you. Baylor Bears number 6. Who is your number 7?
Moving on to 7. We're not going too far from Texas. We're not jumping out of the Big 12 either.
Nope.
University of Texas. I think Texas is
Oh,
a really good basketball team. Even these
they are.
losses, even though Texas Tech was a bad loss, because Texas Tech isn't doing too hot this year.
No.
But
But they're hot
I
right
mean,
now. Red Raiders are hot right now.
they are
So
hot right now. You're right. They
rivalry
might be
game,
fighting. They might be fighting.
rivalry.
But yeah, it's a rivalry game. Of course, they're going to bring it, and so it was a fun game to watch this past Monday. But I still think Texas is one of the best teams actually in college basketball. Obviously, top 7. Uh, they got senior leadership, and they're quick and they jump like their jumping ability, like their rebounding is pretty good because they can jump so high.
Yeah,
They're athletic.
yeah. You're right. I'm right there with you with the Longhorns at number 7. Their last 5 games of the season, they host Oklahoma. They host number 19 Iowa State. They go on the road to play at number 9 Baylor, at number 22 TCU, and then they host the Jayhawks the last game of the season. So
That's fun.
that's a tough stretch for the Longhorns. It's a tough stretch for anybody in the Big 12 though. But we're pretty locked in sync here. We both have three Big 12 teams in our top 7.
Oh, how about that? Those games that you just tossed out real quick, for those of you that are trying to get into college basketball or you just want to
Oh,
watch a good college basketball team, watch those games that Texas faces Kansas, Texas faces Iowa State. Like those are going to be
TCU,
great games.
Baylor.
Baylor, Texas, Baylor, little in-state rivalry. Those are going to be some awesome games, guys. You gotta put those games on.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait for those.
Mhm.
Who's your number 8 team in the nation?
Number 8, I'm going over to the ACC. We're going to go to the University of Virginia. Okay.
Yep.
They play really good defense, but I think they just are.
Just a boring
I hate
team.
to have them in my top 10. Like they're efficient, but there's just something about the scoring that's just not looking good. You know?
They're a boring team.
Yeah.
I kept them at number 10. The ACC
Yeah.
sucks. I kept them at number 10. They nothing really sticks out to me about their resume. They're just solid. They'll be a solid 2 or 3 seed probably if they end
Yeah.
up winning the ACC and the tourney. But I don't know if I trust Virginia.
Yeah, you just got if you trust defense, which I love, I'm all about defense, then great. But if they're a 2 seed going up against a 15 seed that it has a couple like 5
Ooh,
seniors with a hot
wow,
shooter,
wow.
that might be your upset. That might be your Cinderella story right there.
That's a good juicy call here early in mid-February.
We'll see.
But,
We'll see.
but we're talking about this Virginia defense. They're only 22nd. They're only 22nd. So
Still pretty good out of what 300 colleges, something like
three
that.
363, I believe. But I
Pretty
mean,
damn good.
Not like some of these other teams we're talking about, but still, yes, good. My number 18 is going to be in the Pac-12. Just had a puzzling loss to Stanford on Saturday. I got the Arizona Wildcats. Okay,
Yeah.
they're still 22-4, 11-4 in the conference. Now, I lost 20 bones on this game, so I'm not happy with Arizona. I'm not happy with the Wildcats. Okay,
Yeah.
this was actually Arizona's first loss at Stanford since 2009. Okay,
Mm,
and after that loss, they ripped off 20 in a row against Stanford. Okay, beat them 20 in a row after that loss. Okay,
okay.
so this is not a rivalry. This was a big upset, big win for Stanford. But I still got Arizona number 8. They got Twin Towers down there,
Yeah.
and size matters. Size
Yeah. Oh
matters.
yeah. Especially in college basketball. Oh yeah. You want more rebounds. If you can, if you out rebound your opponent, you control the game. Okay. That's
Yeah,
why rebounding is so important, everybody. You
it's
know,
an X factor. It's a key. It's a key.
you
Who's
gain a
your number?
possession every time you get a rebound.
Who's your number 18?
I already said Virginia moving on to 9. We
Oh,
won't stay far. It is Arizona. Number 9
okay.
is also Arizona. Not much more to say about Arizona. They're definitely still a top 10 team right now. They got uh, I don't know how to pronounce it. Azulis.
Azulis Tubelis.
I
Yes,
got
from
it. Okay, cool.
Lithuania. The next
Yeah,
Demontis
he's
Sabonis.
good. He's a hell of a player. He's fun to watch. So
Demontis is Sabonis's cousin. Could be. Could be. The way
who
the way
knows?
they
I guess
play.
we won't know. We won't know until later. But yeah,
The way they play. My number 19, we talked about them a little bit earlier. They got that big matchup tonight. Tennessee Volunteers. Okay.
okay,
They're still the number 1 defensive team in the nation. They're still
yeah,
playing great defense. They cannot score. They cannot score the ball. Okay.
yeah.
I I'm not sure how they're some places they're a 2.5 point favorite tonight. Some places they're a 3 point favorite tonight. I don't know how they're favored over Bama. I don't know how. I'm jumping on that one.
Because are they at home? Are they at
At
home?
home. Tennessee's at home.
That's
Okay.
why. That's
Coming
why.
off 2 out of the last 3 losses, buzzer beaters. I mean, Bam I don't know how Bama is an underdog, the number 1 team in the nation, against a team coming off 2 out of 3 losses.
This was a game. This is one of the best games at Winston. We've been talking about this. Like you got to have this on your TV tonight. It's at 4 o'clock here, Pacific time. Mountain time would be 5. Um, but yeah, the problem with Tennessee is, man, the scoring problem. They're losing to bad teams. They lost to Vanderbilt.
Lost to
Like,
Vanderbilt.
dude, you can't lose to Vanderbilt, and like that's why they're not in my top 10, bro. They're not in my top 10. You lose to a Queef team like Vanderbilt, no, no.
I misspoke. I said two out of the last 3, 3 out of the last 4
Yeah,
losses.
they're
Okay, the last 3
losing.
of the
They're
last 4.
losing right now. It's because they can't score.
Number 1 defense. They can't score. They're gonna lose tonight, but they're number 9 team going into the game. Who you got next?
Moving on to number 10. Don't jump out of your seats, everybody. I think this is
New
a
team.
really good team, though.
New
They
team.
have a great, huh?
New team.
New team. Yeah, it might be the same as yours because the way that you're crossing your arms over there.
I already got my 10. I'm out. Virginia
Oh, I'm
was
sorry.
my
Sorry.
10. Yeah, I'm out.
My bad. I'm jumping the gun. Number 10 for me, Marquette.
Yeah.
Okay, Marquette sitting at 20-6. They have a big game tonight against Xavier for a Big 12
Yes.
matchup. That is fun. That's
Yes.
fun. But they are the best team in the Big 12. No doubt, no doubt in my eyes.
Well, there is doubt in my eyes
Oh yeah.
because there's 4 teams and maybe 5 if you want to talk about UConn.
Mhm.
I mean, these Big East standings right now as we sit here, Marquette is 12-3, Xavier 11-3, and then Providence and Creighton are both 11-4 after that double OT
Yeah.
thriller last night.
Yeah.
Knocks
Oh, how about that?
it stops Creighton's 8-game winning streak. But all 4
Red
of those
hot
teams are
team.
great. UConn, the computers love UConn. I think the Big East is getting slept on. I'm glad you brought up Marquette tonight or in your top 10, and they play
Yeah.
Xavier tonight. The Big East is creeping up there. They could
Yeah.
make some noise this March. Not a lot of people are talking about the Big East.
They're not. They're not. I don't know if it's because Villanova is done, like the coach
Villanova
left. So,
sucks. Villanova sucks. Yeah.
but yeah, we literally
Butler
just you
sucks.
just named the top. You just named like 4 teams, 4 or 5 teams they're going
Yeah.
to the dance, and they're good. They're good
And you
teams.
and then Seton Hall is going to be a bubble team.
Okay, Seattle's
They
up there then.
Yeah, so you got 5, maybe 6 teams going to the dance.
I mean, I like it. Yeah, right now I got Marquette at number 10, but that could easily change. Like UConn's red hot. You know,
Oh
UConn's been
yeah.
playing well, and
Oh
they're
yeah.
back. It seems like UConn was as high as number 2 this year. They dropped a little bit, but they're waking
Yeah.
up again. They're figuring it out. That's
Yeah.
also what's beautiful about a sport like this is that even when you're losing, you can just figure it out. You can figure out how to work it together as a team to get it going. You know, like sometimes all it takes is one night out with the boys or one night out with the ladies, you know,
Yeah.
just getting them all together and being like, hey, let's hang out, let's talk, let's just let it out. And then boom, then you have chemistry again. So
Yeah.
that's the beauty of sports, finding
Get
that chemistry, working together to accomplish one goal.
getting that flow back. Getting that
Yeah.
flow back. You're right. All right. Just to review, my top 10 was number 1, Bama, then Houston, Purdue, Kansas, UCLA, Baylor, Texas, Arizona, Tennessee, and Virginia.
My top 10 is Alabama, Purdue, Houston, UCLA, Kansas, Baylor, Texas, Virginia, Arizona, and Marquette.
Very solid. Very
Yeah.
solid. Only one difference there. I had Tennessee in there. You had Marquette in there, but pretty similar. Pretty similar.
Yeah.
Top 7, top 3, definitely.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna move on to our Wooden Award talk about the late season top 20, where we're highlighting 4 guys every week. We're gonna start with Max. Who do you want to pull out of the Big Ten today?
All right. Now, I think a lot of people are going to be shocked I mean, like I was shocked on how much this guy's improved in one season. Okay. I'm talking about Chris Murray from Iowa. Okay. Chris
Big
Murray,
jump.
his brother was on the team last year, Keegan Murray, who was just a scorer, like a
Number 4 pick.
pure number 4 in the draft, in
Number
the
4 in
NBA
the
draft.
draft.
Um, Pure scorer. And then, yeah, his brother, Chris Murray, he's stepping it up this year after he leaves for the NBA. Like,
Lived
were
in
you
his
expecting that
shadow.
from him?
What was his shadow? Coming off the
Yeah.
bench, barely played. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Big
I
jump.
mean, what a big jump. Let me toss out some stats to you. Okay. Chris Murray, he's now averaging 21 points a game,
Wow.
8.5 rebounds, about
Wow.
1.8 assists. He's shooting 50.3% from field goal percentage. He's shooting about 50%. He shoots the three-pointer at 35.6, and at the free throw line, he's 75.3%. These are all just high. These are all high
Those
numbers.
are great
That's a pure
numbers.
scorer. His brother,
Very
they both
efficient.
can score. The Murrays know how to score.
Very efficient. Yes. He's looking like a candidate for most improved player and
Yeah,
possibly
absolutely.
a first team Big Ten candidate. Definitely.
Yeah.
Moving on to another player. We got a guy that's not a household name here. A lot of people don't know this guy. We got Kendrick Davis from Memphis. Now
Oh,
this is a 5th-year guy. He played his freshman year at TCU in the Big 12. Then he played the last 3 seasons at SMU, and now he's at Memphis. Okay, he transferred
yeah.
in conference. He's at Memphis right now, averaging 24.7 points and 6.8 assists. Now that's the
Damn.
leading scorer and assister in the AAC. Okay,
How about that?
That's Houston's conference. He
Yeah.
he's balling this year. He's the last 9 games he's scored over 20 points. The last nine
Damn.
games, so he's very efficient.
9 straight games with 20 plus points.
9 straight games with 20 plus. He's very efficient. He had a son in July of 21. Okay, going into his last year at SMU. Okay, so that's a big responsibility off the court.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
and I are 30 years old. We don't have any kids. I can't imagine having a kid right
Not
now.
yet, anyway. Not yet.
Not yet, not yet. This young man, Kendrick Davis, is in college trying to go to class. I mean, I don't know if he's going to class. I hope so. But he's balling out on the court while raising his son, and he wants that responsibility. That responsibility is important to him because his own father spent the first 7 years of his life in prison. Okay, so he
Oh,
didn't spend the first 7 years of his life with a father, so he wants to make up for that lost time with his own son. So
well, that's nice. I like
Kendrick
that.
Davis playing for the Memphis Tigers is a top 20 late season Wooden Award watch candidate.
I love that story. I love everything about that. He wants to be a good father.
Yeah,
You know, It's a problem that we have here actually right now is a lot of dads are leaving. Like
Yeah,
stay with your kids. They need you. They
yeah,
need you. Man or a woman, you need to be there for them. You got to raise them. You got to teach them. You got to be there and look after them because they need you.
you're
They
right.
can't make decisions for themselves at such a young age. They can't. They
You're
need to
right.
learn.
You and I are very fortunate with
Yeah,
great dads.
no
You and
doubt
I are
about it.
fortunate.
Love my dad. Love my dad.
But
But that's awesome. Kendrick Davis, what a stud. I love it.
leading scorer and assister in the American Athletic Conference, Kendrick Davis,
A true dad right there. True dad.
for sure. Who do you have next?
Okay, still staying in the Big Ten. Okay, you're gonna jump out of your seat on this one, actually. Okay. I keep saying stay in your seat, but this is the time you're gonna jump out of it. Okay.
Really?
You're gonna be like, what? Really?
Get me nervous.
Jalen Pickett. Jalen Pickett from Penn State.
Penn
All right.
State, the Nittany Lions.
The Nittany Lions. Okay. Now, I'm telling you right now, these numbers that you're going to hear, you put this into the NBA, like this guy's averaging a triple double. All right. Okay. So he's averaging 17.2 points per game. Okay.
Solid.
7.6 rebounds, 6.9 assists. He
Whoa.
shoots 50.9% field goal percentage, 34.6 the 3-point percentage, and 77.6 from the free throw line. Pure scorer. Like I seen him go up against Purdue twice now, and he's been playing great. He's the one guy on Penn State they have, and then Penn State sucks. They suck. So
Yeah,
they're not going to be in the dance.
I
So it's a
don't think
bummer for
so.
Jalen Pickens last year, but this guy can
That is
score, and he's kind of fun to watch.
that is a bummer for Jalen Pickett. But a fun stat about him, he's the only active player with 2,000 points, just recently hit 2,000 career points.
Beast.
600. He's the only active player with 2,000 points, 600 rebounds, and 700 career assists. So
That's,
that's uh that's that's pretty damn good for Jalen
sounds
Pickett.
like a next level player. Sounds like he'll be going the next place.
I
Hmm.
gotta agree with that. I gotta agree with that.
Yep.
And then now the last player we want to highlight today. We're not leaving the Big Ten. We had three guys in the Big Ten today. This guy's the IU Hoosier star, Trace Jackson Davis. He came back for his senior year. He's averaging 20.2 points and 11.3 rebounds. That's good for the third leading scorer in the Big Ten, second leading rebounder, and his 3 blocks a game is the leading
Nice.
blocker in the Big Ten. What do you think about the Hoosiers' chances in March?
I would not sleep on the Hoosiers because they're heating up at a great time. They beat Purdue. They beat Michigan. Sorry, they just beat Michigan at Michigan. Those are great
Yeah,
wins. I mean,
yeah.
those are just great wins. Okay, I saw the Purdue versus IU game at IU. Dude, Trace Jackson Davis is a baller, man. They,
He's an
they threw the
animal.
ball down. They threw the ball down to him, like into the post. The guy catches it with one hand, and then starts moving his arm up and down like he just grabbed a Nerf ball. It was so what a beast. And then from there he goes and dunks it or whatever. This guy can jump out of the gym. What an athlete, man.
Very athletic. Very
I you know
athletic.
I
Very
yeah
polished. If he gets a jump shot going, he'll be a next level player. But
yeah yeah.
do you trivia time for you? Do you remember who his father is? Trace
Oh,
Jackson Davis's dad. Who's his dad?
I
Trivia
don't know.
time.
I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be wrong. Is it
Trivia
Antonio Davis?
time.
Is
Say
it
it
Antonio?
again.
Is it Antonio
Antonio?
Davis?
It's not Antonio.
Uh, uh,
It's his banging brother with the Pacers, Dale Davis. Dale Davis, number
oh
32.
yeah, okay, okay.
Antonio came off the bench. Dale Davis was banging boys at the power forward position. This is his son Trace, and
Awesome.
he's looking like a first team All American, top
I
five
think so
player in the
too.
nation, top five
I would
player in the
love
nation.
I would love to see this. Okay, because this is gonna. I want to see Zach Edey and Davis go against each other. Big Ten championship, IU versus Purdue. It will be game 3 because Purdue is going to take them down at Purdue at the end
Rematch.
of the season. End of the
Yeah.
season, they're taking them down. I
Don't
would
get
love to
ahead
see
of
that Big
yourself.
Ten championship though. Those two for a third game.
Don't get ahead of yourself. All right. All right. Moving on to our last segment. of the week. We got our juiciest games of the week, where we look at the weekend
Yes.
and we we pick five. We pick our five top games and we make our game picks. Last week we were pretty good. We both went 4 for 5. Okay,
Hey.
80%, pretty good. So on the season, these last 2 weeks, I'm 7-3 and you're 5-5. So got a 2 game lead on you. Okay, 2 game.
Gotta make a
Okay.
comeback here.
First game for this week at 12 o'clock Eastern. This one's going to be on ESPN. The number 14th ranked Indiana Hoosiers are hosting Illinois. Okay.
Nice.
We just got done talking about Trace Jackson Davis, and I don't see any reason why they would lose to Illinois at home coming off a loss to Penn State. Is that right? They
Ooh,
just lose to Penn State?
that's a good question.
Go ahead and
Uh,
go ahead and give me your game pick here. But I believe Illinois just dropped a game to Penn State. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I definitely got Indiana on this. This is a fun Big Ten battle. I think Illinois is going to make the dance. I think they'll slip in there. So it's definitely a fun. All Big Ten games are always tight ones. It's that's the beauty of this division. But yeah, I got Indiana with the stud Davis down low.
Yeah, they they lost last night at Penn State by 12. Okay. I'm
That's a
not
bad loss.
taking Illinois to win at IU. Okay.
Yeah,
Go Hoosiers. Go Hoosiers.
Hoosiers.
Next game, we got a hot one. We got a border war on CBS at 1 o'clock Eastern. Number 10 Tennessee going to take on the Wildcats of Kentucky. Who you got here?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with the home team,
Oof.
Kentucky. Yes, I'm going with an
Uh,
upset. I'm going with an upset. I know it's gonna be hard to pick this one because that means you're picking Alabama to beat Tennessee tonight, right? I mean, I think everyone is number one team in the
you
league.
have to.
Yeah. Uh, and then they're going to go to Kentucky trying to get back on track. They're like, okay, well, we're going to play Kentucky so we can beat them. But Kentucky plays well at home. I think they woke up just enough to try to get them into the playoffs. Because they
The
always
playoffs.
slip in. They always, yeah, the dance. They always slip in. But they had to get some big wins in order to slip into the dance for Kentucky, and it's going to be against Tennessee this Saturday. Calling it. What do you got?
Speaking of that home record, they are 12-3 at home this season, so solid. Tennessee is 4-3 on the road, coming off what we think is going to be a loss to Bama tonight.
Mm,
I can't take Kentucky. Kentucky
all right.
sucks. I'm going
Okay.
Tennessee. Going opposite. Let's go Vols.
I
This
like it.
game, this game might be 54-51 Tennessee.
Cool. I like it.
Next game we got for you is at 2 o'clock Eastern. This one's going to be on ESPN. Battle in the Big 12. 19th ranked Iowa State going to take on the 12th ranked Kansas State Wildcats. A lot of Wildcat talk today. A lot of Wildcat talk tonight. Jeez. Who you got in this one? Both these teams are kind of on skids. Kansas State has lost 5 of their last 7, I believe.
Oh, that's not good. That's not
Iowa
good.
State, Iowa State's been dropping a few.
Yeah,
Both
I
teams
think
need it.
yeah, it's got to be a wake up game for both of them. And so, but I am going to lean Kansas State on this one. I just, man, I like how they drive the ball. They just attack.
Yeah,
They just keep attacking. I love how hard they go to the rim.
yeah.
So
Keontae Johnson, we
yeah,
highlighted him a couple weeks
yep,
ago. I This is a toss up here. It's so hard to win on the road in the Big 12. Now Kansas just did it at Oklahoma and Oklahoma State this past week, but I got to go Kansas State at home. The Wildcats get back
yeah,
on track here with a big W over the Cyclones.
okay.
4 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. Now this is the game of the week.
Game of the
It
week by far,
might be the game of the month. Okay,
maybe. Yeah,
might be the game of the month. We got a top 10 battle in the Big 12. Okay, and this has become a little rivalry. These teams have been ranked in the top 10, top 5,
yeah,
top 3 these last few years.
yeah,
They're the last 2 national champions. Okay,
yeah.
we got the ninth ranked Baylor Bears going to Lawrence, Kansas, to take on the 5th ranked Kansas Jayhawks. Okay.
Mm,
This is going to be a battle on ESPN, 4
yep.
o'clock Eastern. Like I said, get ready for this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Get ready for this one. What are your thoughts?
I think, yeah, I think this is definitely the game of the week, one of the best games of the year, by far. Now I'm going to stir the pot a little bit and make my pick and see how you react. I'm going to go with Baylor making the upset against Kansas, just because they are
Wow.
hot. Baylor is,
Yeah.
I mean, so is Kansas. Kansas is looking hot too. They're both just looking like good teams. But Baylor, you already said they won 10 of their last 11 games. Okay, they're going to come
Yeah.
into Kansas and prove that hey, we're a top 5 team. We should be top 5.
Yeah. We got them number 6. They so we're higher on Baylor than the people is. This is a rematch from January 23rd at Baylor. Baylor won 75-69. So they have the head-to-head tiebreaker right now. I'm not going against the Kansas
Of
Jayhawks.
course you're not.
They're
You got a Will
gonna
Chamberlain jersey in the background. Why would you pick
Will
otherwise?
Chamberlain's back here. These guys are gonna take over first place. We're do we know who the Texas Longhorns are playing this weekend? Because that's gonna be okay. We're playing Oklahoma at home, so that's probably
Should be a
gonna be
win.
a win. So we're looking at the winner of this game is going to be tied with Texas in first place. I'm going my Kansas Jayhawks. Now, look alive because DeJuan Harris and Kevin McCullough Jr. both sprained their ankles late in that game against Oklahoma State last night. So we need those guys. If
Yeah.
either of those guys are out, it's a loss. It's a
All
loss. We
right.
need their defense. We need their court vision. Need their leadership.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're differing on 2 of these games so far. Good
Yeah. Oh
stuff.
yeah.
And last game we want to pick here. It's our first Sunday matchup that we've
Yeah.
highlighted. 3 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. We got a game in the American Athletic Conference. Okay. We got the Memphis Tigers and Kendrick Davis. Just talked about
Mm,
him, averaging
yep.
over 24 points, almost 7 assists. Okay. He's leading the conference in both scoring and assisting. They're going on the road, take on the second-ranked Houston
Houston.
Cougars.
the Houston.
Houston,
The
Houston
Houston
Cougars.
Cougars.
Houston
Cougars.
Cougars. Houston Cougars. That might be how we say it from now on. Houston Cougars. Okay. What's your thoughts on this game?
I think that this is if you're looking at the AAC, this is the best matchup in the AAC. It's Memphis versus Houston. And so I'm going to go with an upset. I think Memphis is going to take it down from Houston. Memphis is fighting so hard to make this dance. They're fighting so hard. They beat number 2 Houston. I think they might have
Man,
just plugged themselves in for the dance.
I
So
I
I
can't.
want I want to see this upset so bad. I'm
Man,
so eager. I want it.
I'm taking a
I want them
couple
to win. I
upsets.
want the Tigers to win.
I'm taking 3 upsets today. I can't ride with you on that. I can't ride with you. The Houston Cougars, obviously, they lost that home game to Temple that we talked about a few times, and then they lost at home to Bama. So their 2 losses are at home. So they're not, they can't not be beaten at home.
Yep.
Uh, Tulane and Memphis are both 9-3 in the American, 2 games back of Houston. I'm definitely going the Houston Cougars, and they're looking like a 1 seed.
Sure. Sure. Even if they lose this game, they'll probably still end up a 1 seed at the end of the season. I just think this is the one they're going to go down in. I think this is that matchup that
Okay.
Memphis comes in. It might be a game-winning shot by Kendrick Davis to win it. And this
To
he
go
says, "This is for my boy. It's for my son."
on his way to 45 points and 12 assists.
Hey, you're hearing it right here, and don't tell Mama. Kendrick Davis is going to have a big game. Or Cedric Davis.
Kendrick,
It
come
is
on.
Kendrick. Sorry,
Come on.
I got it right.
Have some courtesy.
Sorry.
All right. Well, that wraps up our college basketball talk for the week. But before we get out of here, we got news from one of our favorite guys that we like to talk about, that we like to highlight on this podcast, the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, where you need to go subscribe on YouTube. Okay. go subscribe on YouTube. Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. So
Yes. Come
one
on.
of our favorite guys we like to highlight on here is Aaron Rodgers. Okay, now what do you know? He was in the news this week because
Oh,
he's he's that kind of guy. Okay, he does his weekly appearance on the Pat McAfee show. Okay, shout out Pat. And what did he have for the people this week, Max? What did he have for us?
well, first of all, like who would have knew Aaron Rodgers was going to be in the media
Of
again?
course.
You know, the guy's an attention whore. All right, that's exactly what he
Well, it's
needs. The
looking like
attention. He needs to feed from people liking his likes and the camera. And I knew this ever since that he started doing those State Farm commercials.
State
Okay,
Farm. State
yeah,
Farm.
the cameras are getting too much in his head. He's more about showing his face in front of the screen rather than playing football.
Sure.
So, but this,
Sure.
this is what he's doing. All right. He says that he's going to lock himself in a room and stay in there for 4 days because by himself, just locked in a room, locked in a closet. I'm sorry, it's a closet, isn't it? It might be even smaller than that.
I think it's a room. I think it's
I think it's a
categorized as a
closet.
room.
It's a closet within a room. It's a closet within a room.
You
So he's
can move
locking
around
himself in
this
there for
room.
four. Yeah,
You're able to move around this room, so I think it's
sure,
bigger than a
but
closet.
he's got his clothes right here, his own jerseys from past seasons that haven't been washed, jock straps, and it smells like the freaking Africa. Sounds like the
Okay.
uh, okay. So anyway, yeah. So he's locking himself in that closet, and he's going to stay there for 4 days to try to find himself. He says he wants to determine whether or not he's going to play football anymore. If he does play football, is he going to stay with the Packers or is he going to move teams? What do you think about this, Cole Breezy?
I actually haven't heard of this before, but I guess people do it. Okay, there's
Yeah.
plenty of testimonies out there of people doing this. I read about one guy doing it for 8 days and 8 nights, so that's a long time. But a darkness retreat is just what it sounds like. It's people spend time in a space that's completely devoid of light. Okay, so there's gonna be no light in here. Okay, so it stems from ancient practices from many cultures, but mostly the monks when they sought spiritual guidance by meditating in a cave. Okay, so now instead of doing it in a cave, we're doing it in a room.
Closets.
Okay, doing it in a closet, sure. Okay, so these days, one of these retreats can cost up to $1,000. Okay, so you're actually paying to do this. Okay, and most of these come with a food service, yoga mat, and toilet paper. Okay, so those are the three things that a lot of these places give you. Okay, and how it starts off is a patron is usually led into a room with a candle and given a tour to familiarize themselves with their surroundings. Okay, then the candle is extinguished, and then that's it. You're you're in darkness for the rest of your time, and you got a yoga mat. I don't know how the food service is working, but there's a food service, and you're given a roll of toilet paper.
I think he's going to ask for more rolls of toilet paper than just one. I think he's going to be like, I need the whole sack. I need the whole bunch of them because he's
Costco.
probably masturbating every 5 minutes,
Oh,
letting
masturbating.
everything out, letting all his
Okay.
kids out, letting it all out so it won't be in his head
Well,
while he's got his face on the TV.
I guess that's one thing you could do in there. I question about the pooping, the defecating. Okay, now Russell Wilson, our guy, wouldn't have a problem with this. He could hold it the whole
Yeah,
4 days.
yeah, it'll be good for four
But
days,
do
five, six,
you?
seven.
Yeah, whatever. Russell can do it. But in this dark room, now do you distinguish a poop corner? How do you remember where that poop is? How
Mm,
do you not step in it? How do you not step in it? How do you not roll in it?
good point. Good
How do
point.
you now you can obviously smell where you're doing it, but you're going to get turned around in there. You don't know where that poop is,
You
okay,
might
unless you
slip on it.
smell
You
it.
might step right on it and slip.
Definitely slip on it. Now, so do you try to distinguish a poop corner, or do you, if you're Aaron Rodgers, just poop wherever you're at right there? You just poop
I
on
mean, Aaron
yourself.
Rodgers, probably would just put it underneath his seat and just like whatever he's sitting, he'll lift it
He's just
up,
on the
take a
ground. I
shit,
think
put it right underneath it, so then he just bathes in it. Basically, he's just sitting from the scent of himself.
I definitely think that this could be a situation where he's just pooping on himself and peeing on himself, and
Could be a lot of that.
I
Could be a lot of that. You know
I'm
what? One thing I will say though, you know what's going to happen. Okay, I you know what's going to happen with him just staying by himself, locked in the closet. He's going to turn into the Joker. This has already happened. This has already happened before. Heath Ledger, when he was
oh
preparing for
man,
the Joker, locked himself in a closet and for 30 days, and then became the Joker. And then Joaquin Phoenix did it. Okay, he also locked himself into a closet and stayed there for 30 days eating a can of tuna in order to lose all this weight to become the Joker. He's going to become the Joker. That's his next thing. DC's looking for a new Joker.
he's looking for an acting role. Okay, that's a curveball that I didn't think of. It's quite the possibility here. Quite the possibility. Anything else about Aaron Rodgers and his darkness retreat?
Whatever. We're just going to keep hearing about him. The best thing we can do is continue to make fun of it.
Yeah, spend 5 minutes a week highlighting highlighting Aaron Rodgers because that's what
A
he
gold
wants,
mine for
right?
us. Gold mine
That's
for us.
that's what he wants.
Yeah. We're talking about you, Aaron Rodgers. You're welcome.
Hey,
And thank
you know,
you.
Aaron, you go on Pat McAfee's show on Tuesday. You want to come on our show for 10 minutes on Wednesday?
Yeah,
You
just
know,
10 minutes.
we'll
Talk
have
about
you
it.
on. We'll
Talk
have you
about it.
on.
Where's the poop corner? Where is
Yeah,
your poop corner?
let
Or is
us
it
know.
underneath the chair?
Let us know if you're just defecating on yourself. Um, but like we said, Russell Wilson, he sounds like a guy that would just refuse the TP. He would just give the role back and say, "I don't need this." And he would trade it in for something else. He would trade it for something.
A weight, a dumbbell or something.
A dumbbell,
So so
yeah.
he could continue with his
20,
workouts that digest his poop or inside of his stomach or his intestines.
a 20-pound dumbbell. I could see it. All right. Well, it was great talking this week. As
Yes.
usual, we meet up every Wednesday for right now talking college basketball, and I can't wait to see these games this weekend. Like we said, Alabama, Tennessee tonight in a top
Yeah.
10 battle. That's going to be juicy, and we can't wait to see what happens next week.
No doubt about it. We got a lot of college basketball to continue to talk about, more wooden watch guys to talk about. Who knows? Another Aaron Rodgers skit is going to be happening because
Oh
hey, we're going
yeah,
to find out what happened in those 4 days probably. Uh,
yeah. We'll
so
hear about it. We'll hear about it.
we'll be hearing about it. So
Oh yeah.
just want to thank everyone for tuning in. Continue to stick
Thank
with
you.
us and continue
Thank
to
you.
love sports. We
Yeah.
appreciate you. And for those of you that are new to the podcast, please subscribe. Please subscribe,
Yeah.
leave a comment,
Subscribe.
talk to us.
YouTube.
We like to
YouTube.
comment back and see what your feed is.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. We
so
love it. Love it. YouTube, subscribe on there, leave your comments, smash that like button. We are the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, and we will talk to you next week.
yeah, don't tell mama.